The final minute between Japan and Nigeria is upon us. Nigeria failed to respond, so what will Blue Lock do next? Blue Lock Chapter 324 officials have dropped. Let's talk about it. So the chapter begins right where the last one left off, with Kuso passing the ball to Onazi and Aiku being there. Aiku thinks to himself, one-on-one at the goal box, and a spot-on cross pass. That stings. As he continues saying, if I stop him, we'll end this peacefully. It is now Aiku versus Onazi. With Aiku saying, Onazi's shot radius is huge, and I've got to brace myself for a possible mid-air shot. Similar to how it was earlier on in the game, when he did just that. Aiku then activates Metavision, the first time we've seen this since Blue Lock 11 versus Japan's U20 team, with Aiku saying up, down, left, right. He's got 4 shot point patterns. My odds of stopping him are 1 in 4. But just then, as he said that, none other than Isagi comes in from the side, saying, I'm a step ahead, you shining bastard, and this catches Aiku off guard, with Isagi saying, I'm going to crush this shot course. With Aiku saying, nice one, puppy. As Aiku thinks to himself, Isagi's ramming into him to cut off that course. As Isagi does just that, Aiku continues saying, if he wants to shoot from that position, he's only got one option. I can crush him. Odds of stopping him are 1 in 1. And as Aiku makes his move and Isagi has his hand around Onazi, Onazi lets the ball hit his shoulder instead. With this catching Aiku off guard, he says he twisted his body to make reverse chest tap. As Isagi says, Onazi's never done anything like that before. He threw off my press timing. But the goal is behind him. As Onazi plants his foot and spins, Isagi notices this and says he jumped and spun around. As we see in a double page up here, he says to revive the lost course shot. Isagi notices this, but so does Kuso. Kuso saying this is the new Onazi. With Onazi saying holy shit as he unlocks Predator Eye. With Onazi saying inside me there's still a part of me that can make me this excited. As he ends up shooting the ball. As we see on another double page, Aiku says your talent's blooming. But I'm blooming too. As Onazi shoots, Aiku manages to get his foot right in between his shot course and grazes it. And this too catches Onazi off guard. With Onazi saying he deflected it? No way, how did he do that? With Aiku saying Isagi spurred on our enemy's awakening, while firing me up too. Basically, we didn't know what kind of awakening would happen, but he was signaling that I should expect a play we haven't seen before. As we continue going through Aiku's mindset, he says, thanks to that mindset, my toes were waiting for this instant to react. A new type of predictive defense to kill awakenings. So Aiku did in fact awaken and attain a new skill. But Aiku still says, but the ball is still going out or in. As the ball approaches the goal, Gagamaru reaches for it and says, this is just too much for me. But to Blue Lock's surprise, or not surprise, whatever you want to call it, Onazi manages to hit the ball. And Kuso cannot believe it. At this point, the rider is Nigeria's biggest op. And once this happens, everyone on Nigeria runs to try to get the ball. And I mean everyone. Karasu, Raichi, and Reo there to try to get them to not get it as well. But the person who manages to rebound it is none other than Corona. With Corona saying not gonna score. As the crowd goes wild. The announcer saying Corona Ranze has cleared the ball. We then cut to Ego saying a perfect victory. As we see the other Blue Lock players on the sideline cheering them on. Ego says, in the 45 days of training that led to this day, the flawless execution of their various tactics, plus Yoichi Isagi's no-top suggestion, and Itoshi Ren's new shot pattern all led to this. With Henri saying, yeah. As the cleared ball from Corona goes through the air, we see Onazi look at the ball. With Ego continuing by saying, this is the U20 World Cup victory we seek. The ideal first victory for the pack of egoists I've crafted. Nice first match, Blue Lock Japan. Ego basically writing off the game because they've already won. But Isagi manages to get the ball and says, it's not over yet, Blue Lock. As we see the puzzle pieces fly around, and this catches Ego off guard. With Isagi saying, are you actually satisfied? With a literal minute left on the clock. So Isagi Yoichi is going to be doing something in this final minute to end the game. Awaken and score, potentially. Or awaken and do something insane Most likely. I'm guessing this entire game will end in the next chapter or 2 chapters. But the fact that Isagi was able to catch Ego off guard because Ego wrote this game off by being a flawless victory is crazy. Isagi's not done yet. He still feels like there's more to it that could be elaborated on. And Aiku Awakening will play a bigger part in the game versus France, I'm almost certain. Overall, I think they're dragging this game out a bit too long, but I guess it's justified in the long run for the awakenings and everything else in between. But we'll see. Next chapter or the chapter afterwards will be the ending of it. So overall, I won't say this wasn't a terrible match. Was it a fair matchup? Absolutely not. 3-0 for your first game is kind of insane.